Hello and welcome to the UVU CS3060 lecture number 0.4, where we discuss how to use the VI or Vim editor. So let's get into it. So in my shell I've just logged in. Let's go ahead and just simply run Vim by itself. Now when VI comes up, it gives you a simplified screen of things you can do. Probably some of the more important ones is you can quit by doing :Q and pressing enter right now. If you want to get some help, you can do :help, or you can press the F1 key. Now, something that you need to be aware of about the VI editor, or the Vim editor, is that it is a modal editor, meaning there are two modes. There is a command mode and there is an edit mode. By default, you enter into the command mode, which means that you can do things by pressing certain keystrokes to get actions done. The key leads to a command line, so you can type in commands at a command line, but there are other keys you can use that do not require the colon. So in any case, if I want to actually start adding text to the editor, I need to use a command to get into the edit mode. The edit mode is entered by pressing the I. So I'm going to press I right now. And you'll notice there at the bottom it says insert. I am now in the insert mode. So I can go ahead and create myself the standard program of all beginning C programmers, which is the Hello World program. So there we are. Now, as long as I'm in the insert mode, every key press I use will enter text except for one of them. If you press the escape key, it will switch from the insert mode or the editing mode back into command mode, and you can watch the insert go away when I press escape. So now I'm back in command mode. And in command mode, this is where you do a lot of your actual editing of files. Not actually inserting text, but making modifications to the particular file that you're editing at the moment. So let's go ahead and start with selecting text. Selecting text, and as I should say, there's actually a couple of ways. Arrows work just fine, so does the page up, page down. So moving around is fairly simple. Selecting text can go into visual select by pressing V. If I press V, it allows me to highlight a certain number of characters. So I can select hello here, and you can see that it selects the word hello. I can also, and notice I switch back and forth between visual select. I can select something, and if I realize that's not what I want, I press V again, and it takes me out of visual select. I can also use Shift V to do line select, and it selects entire lines for me. So let's say, for example, I want to copy this printf line. If I press Shift V, that selects it. Now I need to do something with that selection, so I'm going to perform a copy operation, which very simply is the letter Y for yank. So Y puts that value into a buffer. I can now move my cursor around, and if I want to add that line back to my file, I can use the command to insert the text, P. If I press P right now, it drops that buffer after the line that my cursor was on. Now if I go ahead and select this particular piece of text right here, now notice that there's two things here. There's a white section, hello, comma, and then there's my cursor. I'm going to go ahead and cut this by pressing X. And you'll notice that when I cut it, it cut both the white selection and the cursor. So unlike other editors, this, when the select includes the cursor. Now, if I want to start pasting that text after my cursor, I can press the letter P, and it adds it after my cursor, and I can do that several times. Now, just like other editors, there's a way to undo. If I don't like what I've done, I can go ahead and press U, and U will take back a certain number of changes for me. So I go back to the original hello world here. Now, while I'm still in command mode, if I want, well, in fact, I can only do this in command mode. If I feel the need to actually save this file, I can use the colon. This brings up our command line down here in the bottom left, and do W for write. If I do :W, it tells me I don't have a file name. Maybe I should give it a file name, hello.c. And now this file has a name, hello.c. And you'll notice this does implement syntax highlighting. Syntax highlighting is identified by the extension of the file. So it has to have the .c to be able to work. Once I've written the file, to exit is just a matter of :Q. And I'm done. And you can see here, there's my hello.c. Now the VI editor can be started with the file name you want to edit. So if I type VIM space hello, it brings up my program for me. And I can go ahead and let's say I want to get rid of this line. Remember, I am in command mode right now, not edit. In command mode, to delete a line, all I have to do is press the D key twice, DD. And there it is. The line disappears. DD deletes one line at a time. Now, if I want to save this, I choose write, and it immediately overwrites my file. There is no, are you sure you want to do this? So be aware, you are writing directly over the file that you had. If you want to write to a different file, you use :W space and then the file name you want to save to. And when we're done, we go ahead and quit. And we can see that hello is exactly what we edited. So that is the VI editor. It is a fairly complicated editor in that the commands are not self-evident. There's a steep learning curve when it comes to picking up those commands. If you have any questions on how to do things, feel free to come to the office hours. And just as a note of personal interest, VI is my editor of choice. I've been using it for many, many decades, and it is just where I'm most comfortable. So I have a lot of tips and tricks I can give you when it comes to using VI. Very good. Take care.